welcome to the Sumo Mainichi live stream of Juryo. We are in Beppu, in Oita, and enjoying the sumo, enjoying the last few days. We've been here for a couple of days. If you've been listening to the podcast, you'll know that, but we found that our speeds are very, very good for streaming, and we would love to bring you Juryo today. My name's Amy. Here's Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. Welcome, everyone. A big day of Juryo action ahead of us. The Yusho hangs in the balance.
Yep, very exciting.
2 Rikishi on 11 wins who could potentially take this one out. Juryo 1, Kotoshoho, and Juryo 5, Onosato. 2 very exciting Rikishi. The 2 Rikishi you see on your screen, however, this is the final bout for Makushita. We have Narutaki up against Kaio. Both of these Rikishi having a lot of success so far, coming in to this bout on 5-1. Of course, Makushita Yusho was taken yesterday. Well, the day before yesterday by Takerufuji, who has the perfect 7-0 record.
From Isagahama, Atami Fuji, we think Tsukebito at least is with him all the time. He's the one who gives him the back slaps. He's the one who hypes him up before a bout. And so now we see this final match of Makushita with Narutaki and Kaio about to settle down. Hey, Scott. We've actually seen you already on the Abema coverage. I'll send you some pictures. Kaio coming forward. He's the bigger man here, and he's the one moving forward. Attempts a few slaps, and he gets Narutaki down to the ground. That's one more win for Kaio. He is finishing on 6-1, which is very good for him at Makushita 6. There's a bit of a glut up the top of Makushita with good scores. He is one of them. Let me look at the Makushita Banzuke. We've got Hakuyozan finishing on 4-3 on Makushita 1. The man we're about to see step up on the doyo, Takerufuji, was the other Makushita 1. He is 5-1 at the moment. Still has one to fight, so he'll be coming up to Juryo. We have Oshomi at Magashira 2, 4-3. He's done really, really well. Tochi Musashi went 4-3 at Makushita 3. So with all of these guys going well up the top of Makushita, it does mean that those around 6, like Kaio and Wakataka Kage, the other one probably won't make it up to Juryo this time.
I thought Wakataka Kage finished on 5 wins. 5-2.
Yeah, he's 5-2, yeah.
Yes.
So Kaio would probably jump him anyway.
Yes.
But I don't think there'll be space for either of them, although there are quite a few people falling out of Juryo that we'll talk about.
We will. The first bout that we're going to kick off with today, we have Juryo 11 Hitoshi and Makushita 1 visitor, as you said, Takerufuji. Hitoshi, on debut in Juryo, has had, and I'm going to quote you here, an absolute shocker.
Yeah.
Of a Basho. He's 2-12. His 2 wins came against Takakento and Kageyaki.
And we've actually awarded him the Sumo Mainichi Encouragement Award that we give out to a Rikishi who just has had a pretty bad time of it and just needs a little bit of encouragement from 2 Australians who love sumo. I'm sure Hitoshi can benefit from it. Hitoshi, we wish you nothing but the best. After getting your face bitten, which doesn't happen very often, by Shishi.
You showed me that image of him post his bout on day 12 or 13, and it looked like something out of a horror movie. It was horrific.
It's no good. You can see the 2 marks. One's on his cheek and one's on his forehead. He's really been in the wars. He hasn't been able to win anything. And we want to encourage him in his ongoing sumo. His opponent is Takerufuji. He is from Isagahama stable. He's 24 years old. He won a Jonikuchi and a Jonidan Yusho when he started off in 2022 in Kyushu.
Yeah, and he continues on this impressive run so far. about to make the step up to Juryo already.
Yeah.
Huge news for Isagahama fans.
And a difficulty for, well, us in the commentary box here, because we've got to not say Takerufuji, we've got to say Takerufuji.
He might change it. Anyway,
Change it.
Gunbai is pointed forward. Hitoshi takes a moment to contemplate these last 2 weeks. What can he do today? Can he get that third win? Takerufuji underneath forces Hitoshi to move back, and well, the bad news just keeps coming for Hitoshi fans. Takerufuji just took care of business very, very easily today.
He sure did. And I was waiting for the camera to swing off to see Hitoshi down there on the cushions, you know, with a broken leg or crushing something down there, because that would probably just add to the luck that he's had this time around. But he was able to get up. He's okay after that fall, it looks like. Off the oh, he fell on. Who is that? Couldn't see in time.
From here, Hitoshi, yes, he needs to rest his body. Yes, he needs to let his face heal. But I think more, he needs to go home and have a good, hard and long look at himself in the mirror, because something's not right with his head. But, you know, you see it with these kids coming up to Juryo for the first time, and I'm sure we'll see him back very, very soon. So Hitoshi fans, don't get too down.
Hello to everyone in the chat. Sumo Punks, thanks so much for being here. You legends. And yes, Scott and Annie, as I said before, the Abema camera people really do seem to like you. We've got quite a few photos of about 10 minutes ago when they were showing you and your posters. Goose. Oh, that's, yep.
Yes.
I'm not getting fooled by the gooses this time around. And 420, how are you? Yes, his face was bitten accidentally. I don't think Shishi went out with the intent, but the mouth and the cheek clashed, and the cheek came off second best. Although I think Shishi's tooth was chipped as well.
Oh, that's right. I heard the same thing. Yeah, hopefully they can save that tooth.
So here we have Ten-sho up against another Makushita visitor, Daichi. Ten-sho is receiving our second. That's right, second. Sumo Mainichi Encouragement Award. Because I love this big guy. He's gone 4 and 10 so far. There's something about him that warms my heart, and I don't want to see him go down to Makushita. I'm going to have to accept it, but I want to give him even a personal Amy Encouragement Award.
Great, I like it. Yeah, he'd love a 5th win here to round out this Basho. Daichi, he's a 25-year-old up Hokkaido way, up in the northern reaches of Japan. Has been around sumo a long, long time after making his Miyazumo debut, aka Car Park Sumo, in March 2014, where he racked up a very interesting score. 2 wins, 0 losses, and 2 Kyujo days. So I think it's a common trap for these young kids. They forget it's on.
Just didn't turn up.
Just didn't turn up.
Whoopsie.
Can happen. He's fighting at his highest rank today. Or this Basho, Makushita 3.
It is time for these two to go. I'm unabashed in saying here, come on, Ten-sho. That was a great presentation of the stomach there. He's got a low-key stomach presentation. Take some inspiration there perhaps from Takakento. Both going terribly. Maybe he should drop it. He comes forward, Ten-sho. He is intent here. The hands on the shoulders. And can he... Oh, he gets a bit stifled here. He tries to come under Daichi's arms, and it works, finally. And he's able to shove him off. It took a little bit longer than he may have wanted here.
Daichi was very impressive in that defense there. As you said, I mean, this was all Ten-sho throughout the bout. Just... taking Daichi on tour of the dojo. Impressive to see Daichi find a way to hold it up. But I think you can see in the opening seconds of this bout, as we take the replay, why Ten-sho is too good for Makushita. And he's just on that... He's in that awkward middle ground at the moment. But again, finishing on 5 and 10 at Juryo 10, he will most likely end up at the top of Makushita in January. And I'm sure we'll see him back in the Juryo ranks very, very soon.
Hello, Kunio. Thank you for your beautiful introduction of the bouts. One of the Yobidashi, the best voices. which I didn't want to talk over there.
No, I mean,
Beautiful.
thank you for letting us just drink
Revel.
that beautiful sound in. The next bout of the day, we have another Makushita visitor. Sushimanda up against Takakento. Now, what's going on here?
Yeah.
3 Makushita visitors. I don't want to do the maths.
It's the Juryo kerfuffle. Juryo just always goes a little bit pear-shaped at the end.
Yeah.
So they run out of people, they're sending people up. Then the next day somebody goes Kyujo, they don't have to send people up anymore. The matchups get all wonky, and we know already that the Torikumi committee have been under pressure.
Oh, under
They've been drinking,
Oh,
I think.
exactly. I think they'll all deserve a holiday after trying to put together this puzzle that has been the Torikumi over the last few weeks. Sushimanda, if you've listened to this Juryo live stream, that would be a very, very familiar name. We've had the pleasure of having Sushimanda up in Juryo, I would say, as recent as July. And who could forget that 3-win, 12-loss performance he put in there at Juryo 11. Really said to the sumo world, it's time for some time back in Makushita for me, lads. Catch you soon. But good to see him out here today. Very, very heavily strapped right leg there. We've got some comfort tape above the knee. We've got some kind of pressure bandage on the right calf and some kind of black booty on the right foot. So a lot going on there.
I've noticed the black booty every so often now. Maybe it's always from him that I've seen it.
Well,
But I've never seen a black one before.
no, they need to stamp this out.
Don't like it?
I mean, I'm assuming it is a booty, and it could be that the pressure bandage is too tight and they've cut off the blood circulation to his foot, in which case someone needs to get this man to a hospital if they want to keep that. On the right of the screen, Takakento, 3-11. Look, I mean, that scoreline is historically and factually accurate.
Yep.
But in terms of the energy he's been bringing to the dojo, this basho is completely misaligned. Had the great pleasure of seeing Takakento present the stomach from behind his opponent on one of the days that we were there.
Yep. Or as chat says, do the gut thing.
The gut thing, well, we might see it here. Abema TV know what they're looking for.
They've pulled in close here.
Pulled in nice and close.
Oh, I thought that was
no,
it.
that was it. No.
He took a
Oh,
breath.
the sense
And
of
I saw-
anticipation.
I
Hang
saw
on.
the angle begin to go
There
down.
it is. Presents the stomach, and he just lounges back there. So good to see. All right. Sushimanda comes in, but it's all Takakento. The right hand or left hand of Sushimanda, though, on the back of the belt was enough to see Takakento over. And a couple of fans there. I can only assume that that's his parents. Oh, Takakento, 3-12. I think he's in great danger of slipping down to Juryo.
Yeah, suggestion in the chat that he has topped out in Juryo, and it does seem that way.
Yeah.
He got up to Juryo 4 back in 2021.
Yeah.
Am I on the right person here? Yep. Juryo 4 in 2021, went 3-12 and then helped himself to another 3-12.
Well, he is known as the 312 merchant. So, I mean, this score's a very, very familiar place for him. But I wouldn't like to think that we've seen the best
No.
of Takakento, though.
No, we'll see him again.
So much promise.
I'm sure. Now here is the Clown Prince himself. We love him. Aqua up against Tamashoho, who my appreciation for only grows and grows. I enjoy what I see of him as a person. I enjoy his sumo. And so to see these come up against each other on day 15 is fun. Nice, colourful.
Well, it's great that at Juryo 7 we see Tamashoho coming into day 15 with that Kachikoshi winning record under his belt. He can have some fun today, Tamashoho. But the man on your screen, Aqua, aka the Clown Prince, a Rikishi who it's so easy to take for granted. Just has an incredible sumo aura surrounding him that has a radius of up to 4 or 5 meters from what we saw when we were there over the last week. But he has not had a good time of it. this Basho. He's 5-9, and he's coming into the final day with a 3-loss streak. Hey.
And I did get a lovely photo of Aqua this time around from the Fukuoka Stadium. When he came in one of the days, you might have seen it posted on Twitter. And as he went past, I said, Aqua Gambare, and he looked over and he beamed. And these rays of light came out from his head, and the sumo radius expanded, and everyone in the Kokusai Center was bathed in light. And it was a beautiful Aqua moment. And I will personally send the photo to anyone who hasn't seen it because I love it.
Yeah.
We also saw him warming up in the corridor, so you can go right to the back of the stadium and see where they're warming up. He had the resplendent, and it's even more resplendent in person, the green mawashi, but he was just warming up in the stairwell because he's Aqua and because he is very modest, apart from at this very moment.
That big pile of salt, he launches it. Yeah, good distance today, good salt amount. And just look at that salt sitting on the ground there.
We've come to the conclusion that the first day that we came, which was day 8, that we didn't see the salt throw. He just forgot. He just got his going back to the corner wrong. Oh, minor presentation.
Yeah,
of the stomach
minor
there.
presentation of the stomach.
And they chose the towel over the salt throw over tasty towel.
Yes.
From Tamashoho's corner. Always love to see that.
Well, I mean, this is the genius of Abema. What they do with one camera.
Yeah.
It's outstanding.
Mata there to kick us off. Pan back, Abema, thank you. Tamashoho tries to throw Aqua down off the tachi-ai, and it doesn't work. He keeps his feet, but then he's unstable as anything, and Tamashoho can then flip him around and thrust him down. That's one more win for Tamashoho, which takes Aqua to a unpleasant score, I'm going to say, of 5-10.
Well, yeah, another Rikishi knocking on the door of Makushita with that score. Juryo 10 for Aqua. As we take that replay, you can see Tamashoho's thrusting attacks were good. And very early on in that bout, you could see that Aqua's feet were starting just to fall behind the rest of his body.
Yeah. And that Juryo 10 position is a tricky one with the 5-10. I saw you say in the chat before that maybe Ten-sho with a 5-10 at Juryo 10 won't go down, and maybe that'll be the case. I mean, you can't imagine that both of them would, Aqua and Ten-sho, so maybe Aqua will be safe as well with that score, but he'll certainly be right down the bottom of Juryo.
It will be very, very interesting to see what happens. Well, that brings us to our next bout. Juryo 7, Daisho, and Juryo 14, Chiosakaya. Both of these Rikishi coming into day 15 with a losing record. Daisho's 5-9. A lot of joy there for Daisho fans. And comes into today with 2-loss streak hanging above his head. Daisho's 29 years old.
Yeah. Do you think he's older?
I thought he was a little bit older than that, yeah.
Feels like.
Feels like 31, I would say. Just in terms of how long he's been around.
Yeah, that's right. He has been around for a long time.
Very much part of the furniture.
Chiosakaya would be disappointed with another Makakoshi when he's flipped up into Juryo. He just can't seem to stick. Had a few, 2 goes at it now. Stayed in for 4 Basho last time and 4 Basho this time.
Yeah, it seems as though he was at Juryo 8 back in September and he went 4-11 there, and I think that was just a bit high for the young man. Let's see if he can finish this Kyushu Basho out with a win and on a positive note. Still a lot of salt on the doyo from Aqua.
Just Aqua leaving a trail of Aquaness behind him.
And it looks like they're going to go back one more time. Wonder if they've got the rights to show that person on TV, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, nobody take a photo of her and put it up in any public places, including the live stream of Abema. It's available to everybody.
Yeah. Anyway.
For Daisho, big fan of Oite Kazebeya. Who does everyone think he's going to win the Makuuchi Yusho? Has to be pretty much a high percentage chance for Kirishima at this point.
Sumo's a funny old game.
Yeah.
That's something we've always said.
The hype was very much yesterday, day 14, wasn't it?
All right, it looks like the Gyoji is going to gift us some sumo here. Chiosakaya taking his time, getting inside the mind of Daisho. Chiosakaya, very slow and careful touchy eye, trying to move Daisho from the side. But you can just see Chiosakaya is throwing his body, but not really getting a lot of result there. Daisho standing strong, but big push up on the chest and a quick pull delivers Daisho to the dirt. And that's a great win for Chiosakaya.
Well done to Chiosakaya. Moves to 7 and 8. Just could have done that a little bit earlier. Just one more flip around to those wins and losses and he would be able to stay, but that's the brutality of the 7 and 8 line, and in fact he'll have to have one more go at it, one more go at getting himself back up to Juryo. Daisho finishes on 5 and 10, common score down the bottom here.
Monster, I tend to agree with you saying that an Takerufuji Takakento bout would have been great at the end of today. So instead of Takerufuji's taking on Kotonowaka, I was a little bit surprised about this one. As we said, the Torakumi committee have been under extreme amounts of pressure. And look, we don't get things right all the time. I mean, this is what happens after 2 weeks of probably long nights.
Well, actually, we did say Kotonowaka a couple of maybe the 2 nights ago when I was having a guess.
We said it was a possibility. And I mean, it is a possibility. I think we're just saying, wouldn't it have been nice?
Yeah. Tabby, hello, number 1. And number 2, playoff would be amazing. We can only hope. And the first step is in the Takerufuji victory. A Takerufuji, I call it, when he wins. Over Kotonowaka.
Well, we have a Nanasho Nanahai match up now for you. Chiyoshima up against Yuma.
And this is a good time perhaps to announce the winner of the Chiyoshima Henka competition. We had lots and lots of entries. We had 2 people who got the choice right on day 7. Day 7 he henkered against, I can see who it was, Ten-sho.
Oh
rude.
No.
Went on to win, which is not always guaranteed, we know from Dr. Ben Marshman's statistics. But he did win, and there were 2 people who guessed that day, Martha and Tony. If you go to our Instagram, you can see me drawing their names out of a bag. And it was Martha who won, but we'll also be sending Tony a little consolation prize as well. So we'll get in touch with you guys if you happen to listen to this. Yuma is Chiyoshima's competition here. And he's lost 3 in a row these last 3 days.
Right,
so
okay.
Has been on the road to Kachikoshi for all of that time, getting a real experience this time around. We thought he was home free. We thought he was going to stay in Juryo this time. He was in Juryo for one basho in July and came out with a 6-9. But here, if he wins today, he will be able to stay. Chiyoshima on the belt with the right hand. He loses it though. Yuma moves around so much so he slaps him instead and then takes Yuma back over the bales. That was good work from Chiyoshima. He was very active and he didn't let losing that hand on the belt worry him.
Well, no. What did you think of those slaps to the face he delivered?
Yeah.
Mid-bout.
They're good. I thought they were good.
Well, we'll take the replay now. Quick touchy eye from Chiyoshima. You can see that he obviously had a plan to get that right hand on the belt. Here when he loses it though, he goes angry Chiyoshima. Whack to the face, and unfortunately here, Yuma didn't get a chance to respond.
And that's disastrous for Yuma. That means that he is out.
He's Juryo 13.
Oh.
I think he'll be okay.
I was being very dramatic
Yeah,
there.
but he will probably take one of those Juryo 14
Yes.
spots, which could have flow-on effects down in the Kushita.
Okay, disastrous for his mental opinion of his own sumo is what I meant there. Chiyoshima, we handed out a Sumo Mainichi. I'll just straight out have another go at that. Sumo Mainichi Juryo special prize. We gave him the Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me prize, which he did win. Now that is for an experienced Rikishi who doesn't let age deter them, either with or without Makuuchi experience. It's a long award name. And, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me prize. That is for Chiyoshima this time around.
Congratulations.
These awards are not JSA awards. They're Sumo Mainichi awards.
They are.
They're ours.
On your screen at the moment, Mr. Sumo Chimaru, and today he's taking on Shishi. Chimaru wasn't with us for a few days this basho, unfortunately. He went Kyujo on day 4, but the good news was he returned on day 9. And since returning has a 3 wins, 3 loss record. So not terrible, definitely worth him coming back. But yeah, Chimaru not moving as well with such agility as we're used to seeing.
Shishi on the other side, apparently, as we were saying before, missing a tooth, or at least with a chipped tooth from banging it on the pristine cheekbone of Hitoshi. Gouging a bit of flesh out and losing half a tooth. He is 5-9 coming into today. Picked up more wins in the second week. Ended up beating Hitoshi, beat Ten-sho, pretty easy to do. Beat Takakento at the moment, easy to do. He's not looking great, Shishi.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit disappointing given that at Juryo 12 in July he went 9-6. Followed that performance up in September with a 9-6 at Juryo 8. I was wondering whether we would see a very gradual rise for Shishi, but with the result here, he'll drop a couple of places. It's not the end of the world. He'll still be in Juryo. He is very young, we do need to remember. He's still 26, a lot of sumo ahead of him. And I would say probably some conditioning as well will help his sumo along.
Yep.
A man in perfect condition is on your screen at the moment, Chimaru. And then we see Scott and Annie on TV again.
Who are in the chat right now with us. And we'll be hearing this on delay.
1
we
minute
saw
later,
you.
give us a wave.
Australia loves sumo. Yes, we do. And they love Chimaru. Mr. Sumo, as do we. Hey, Tim Sumo. Welcome. Go, Mr. Sumo, indeed.
Shishi, you're probably looking at those cheeks going, they look delicious. Shishi comes forward. They clash high. He slaps the face of Chimaru before getting a right hand on the belt and moves Chimaru very carefully across the Tawara. And you just see Chimaru there. Just take a moment, put the hands on the thighs, bend forward. Big exhalation of breath and just go, what happened?
I mean, when do we see an announcement from Chimaru? We haven't seen our last Chimaru bout, surely.
No, I mean, it's obvious, even watching this replay, that he's fighting injured. I mean, he would normally put up some kind of defence there.
Yep. What I did like about that is Shishi's care on the bails, actually. He's not someone who's always known for being gentle. So realising that Chimaru wasn't feeling the best, that the legs weren't working the best, and being careful to take him out, I think that's a really good sign for Shishi. Very important bout now. Here we go. The first of the leaders for the Juryo Yusho, Onosato. Kotoshoho being the other one who fights in the second last bout of the day. But Onosato, he's nice and early now, and they've given him a difficult opponent, I think.
Well, I think this is the right choice here. Motoryu, I mean, look, he's Juryo 4. He's 9 and 5. Every day of the week, he is hard to beat.
Yep. Huge, hard to move, strong.
Yeah. So
in form at the moment.
Absolutely in form. So this will be a test for Onosato. Obviously, this is the first time they are meeting. Onosato coming into this bout, he's 23 years old. This is only his 4th basho, but already feels like part of the furniture. In a good way. Nice furniture.
Yeah, for sure. And with his Nishonoseki Heia mates, he's achieving a lot of success. They're obviously one of the, well, again, not obviously, they are becoming one of the power stables. They're being built up from scratch by ex-Kisnesato Nishonoseki Oyakata, who we just see there. Beautiful shot of him, and you have to think his protege.
Oh,
you'd call him that.
absolutely. Yeah. Tim, thanks for mentioning that Motoryu might go to Makuuchi with a win here.
I would like that.
Yeah, it would be good to see Motoryu back. Can't tell if they are going to send... Yeah, they're going to send them back again. We look at Onosato's record across this basho. Only the 3 losses. He lost to Tamashoho. Importantly, he's already lost to Kotoshoho. And he also lost to Shimanoumi. So 3 Rikishi who have done quite well.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting to look at his losses. He seems to get a little bit taken by surprise. I guess he's at that point where, I mean, he hasn't bulldozed the way that maybe we thought he would, the way that Hakuoho
I was going to say,
did.
like Hakuoho did. Yeah,
it's
not
almost
that, is it?
bulldozer.
No.
It's very close, but a couple of times taken by surprise with speed and angles, perhaps. And here we go. He comes up against Motoryu and gets him to the edge. I thought he was going to jump out first while Motoryu hung on the bales, but he did not. He controlled that motion in a very Kisnesato-like fashion.
Oh, I like that comparison a lot.
2 feet on the Tuara.
I can't wait to see this replay. Just smooth deceleration there from Onosato. Yeah, Motoryu can move quite quickly and surprise opponents sometimes. Yeah, you see here at the Tachi-ai, it's almost like Motoryu was trying to swing Onosato around.
And actually, if he could have fully pivoted his body,
yeah, maybe
he might have been able to, but he didn't quite have time.
Doyo is not that big. So Onosato with that win moves to 12 and 3. The pressure now very much on Kotoshoho, who takes on Asakoryu in the second last bout of the day. If Kotoshoho beats Asakoryu, we will have a playoff. But we've got a lot of good sumo between now and then.
We sure do. Asakoryu in great form too. He has won 4 of his last 5. Yesterday just going down to Onosato. So a great opponent for us all watching Juryo for the excitement factor.
I was a little surprised that Kotoshoho was coming up against Asakoryu. I'm sure there are people who have looked at this more closely than I, but I wondered whether, I mean, has he fought Shimanoumi? Has he fought Shiden? We've got Bushozan doing well. Asakoryu is a smaller Rikishi. No, like...
He's fought those 3.
He's fought those 3?
Yep.
Okay.
I just think there's not that many options in Juryo. You know, there's only the 14 places on either side, and then there's people popping up. It's just a difficult maths puzzle.
Asakoryu may surprise us. But before we get to that bout, let's have a look at this next one. We have Daimami up against Shiden. Both of these Rikishi with good records coming into this final day. Daimami on 8 and 6, Shiden on 9 and 5. They've only met twice in the past, and Daimami has taken both of those. But don't you feel it's Shiden's time?
Yeah, it definitely could be here. this is one I look forward to because they're both big guys. Daimami's so hard to move, and when he's moving forwards well, you know, you can't get around him. Look at that width. Can't get around him, can't get past him.
Yeah.
He's just coming at you. But Shiden, he's much shorter, but equally as wide.
I mean, you do get the
Daimami's
feeling at
massive.
31 years old for Shiden, he spent 9 years, well, basically 9 years getting his way to Juryo. It's now or never for Shiden. This is his third basho in Juryo. He's gone 8, 7, 6, and 9. So already we're looking at a great result for him, but a 10th win against his name would be very, very welcomed.
Tim saying Hakuoho and Onosato both went 24-6 in Juryo. So
Yikes, really?
maybe it was that Makushita start to Onosato's career that made me think that he was doing worse. What was that little
That's
extra
very
time?
interesting. Great stat, Tim. Thank you for that. Daimami, 30 years old from Kagoshima-ken. 8 and 6, picking up his Kachikoshi yesterday with that win over Tohakuryu. Has been in Juryo now since September 2022, and it does feel like just when he starts to gather a bit of momentum, mount a campaign to come back, the wheels fall off a little.
Yeah. Come on, Daimami. Or
Shiden.
come on, Shiden. I'm equally invested in this one. Shiden with the knees heavily, heavily strapped and an elbow. Daimami with the knee. A couple of beat up boys in purple ready to go.
Well, certainly taking their time to get going here today. They meet. Shiden crashes hard. There's a bit of space between them, but it's Shiden attacking. Daimami now slides Shiden across the Tawara. He's in big trouble. He fights, but the stability and power of Daimami wins the day. And he takes Shiden over the bales. So both of these Rikishi finish their 2023 with a 9-6 result in this basho.
Didn't look like either put their hands down at the
Oh,
start
no.
there. Looked very quick.
Oh,
And we didn't even say, don't worry about it, Abema. I didn't want to see if they did or not. Oh, big punch to the face there by Shiden. Taken to the edge. And gee, didn't he fight there. Realised that there wasn't one more win for him. We were going to give Shiden, maybe I don't even need to mention it now, we were going to give him the Rising from the Swamp Award, which is when you get a great score from a low rank in Juryo at Juryo 12. He qualified for that, but he's ended up going 9-6. So that was if win. You don't get it, Shiden.
Sorry, Shiden.
Sorry,
Maybe
mate.
next time. The next bout, we have Juryo 11, Hidenoumi up against Juryo 3, Oshoma. Not great news on either side of the doyo this time around. Hidenoumi, 6 wins, 6 losses, and 2 days off, days 7, 8, and 9. How does that work? I've done something wrong here. No, he was off. Well, he was off 7, 8, and 9.
Yep.
But the first day he's off counts as a loss.
Yep.
And then the other 2 are Kyujo.
That's complicated, the way it's displayed there.
Oh, yes. And poor old Hidenoumi coming into this final day with a 3-loss streak.
He would fancy himself here against Oshoma. They've only fought once and he beat him. Oshoma not showing much form this time around. Has come into this basho with some tricky press about how he's been behaving in his stable, Naruto Baya. That he has been, or has bullied quite a number of lower rank Rikishi out of the sport. Haven't seen anything about it since then.
Crazy. It's crazy that he's standing here today. I don't know. Hopefully this is picked up post-basho and that we see some justice, or at least some investigation, then some justice.
Does seem to have possibly affected his sumo, and that he has 5 losses in a row in week 2. Started off with 2 losses, just not looking confident here.
I think it's the thing that bothers me the most is that he's bullied kids out of sumo when really their job is to be bullying kids to start sumo. Do you know? It's the wrong thing to be doing.
Yeah. You've got to force them to continue.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, very unbecoming behaviour. We've seen a bit of video of him on the Sumo Mainichi Instagram when he was walking in, but it was grudging.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was walking with someone else, wasn't he?
He was
That's
walking
why-
with Chiosakaya,
Yeah, that's right.
who I really wanted to get some video of, so I did. Oh, Hidenoumi coming very slowly forward here. Oshoma with the hand on the neck, now both hands on the neck. But Hidenoumi's got himself anchored on the Tuara and he's not going anywhere. Oshoma, though, tries a left and a right, and Hidenoumi does take himself back and over. So not really feeling that he needed to complete that bout in stellar form. I think Hidenoumi trudging off.
Hidenoumi did not look good from the get-go in this bout. As you said, the touchy eye, we'll see on the replay here, was just lethargic.
Yeah.
And really, Oshoma, it looked like he was out doing daily practice here. Hidenoumi did manage to hold things up for a little bit, as you said, by anchoring the Tuara. But then it's just like he got sick of doing sumo and thought, if I just step back here, it's holiday time.
Yeah, that's right. I can just have a beer and relax for a bit.
Yeah.
Listen to Sumo Mainichi, hear about how they got my double brother Sumo card in their latest card opening.
Well, thanks for that, Hidenoumi. You've devalued that one with that loss today. So Hidenoumi finishes on 6 wins, 8 losses, 2 days off, 2 Kyujo days. Yeah. Hidenoumi. What's he doing?
Yeah.
He's just never quite come back. Even look,
around.
I wasn't never expecting him to make a return to Makuuchi, but I was expecting him to establish himself in maybe the upper mid ranks of Juryo. But it's just been very, very hard going for him. He had some time back in Bakushita, right?
Yep, one bout in September, and now he'll be back there. I mean, it can't be good for him who's been in. Well, I was going to say he's been in.
He won't necessarily go down to Makushita because he's Juryo 11.
Oh, yep.
He's got 3 losses.
I love to put
I like
people
this.
down.
You're
Straight
going down
down.
to Makushita. You're going down to Makushita. You've gone 8-7. You can go down.
You didn't value your place in Juryo enough for my liking.
True.
I want to see someone else. This is the best division of the sport.
Yes.
We want to see young, exciting people who are hungry.
Or old, exciting people who are hungry.
Yeah, that's fine. If you're hungry,
Yeah.
nom, nom,
I
nom, that's
agree.
fine.
I agree with you.
Hidenoumi today didn't seem hungry.
Yep.
Get back down there.
Okay, this is our 4th last bout. Juryo 12, Shimanoumi up against Juryo 2, Shimazumi.
Now, I am thrilled that Shimazumi is moving up. Every day I watch him fight, I like him more and more.
He has looked so good this Basho.
Just a great little nug. Great sumo. Good moves.
Well, I feel like he's turned the corner a little bit with his sumo. Juryo 6 back in September, 9-6, and now he's looking at least a similar result, and for the first time in his career, a promotion to the top division. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's very, very exciting. He's 27 years old, from Hanaregoma stable, so he and Ichiyamamoto together enjoying some success this time around.
The Rikishi on your screen, Shimanoumi, comes in today with a winning record, 8-6. And I think he's looked pretty good this time around.
Yeah, he has actually.
I thought Shimanoumi was in that part of his career where he's just slowly sunsetting.
Yeah. The only slightly tricky one was the one with the water break against
Motoryu,
where he just got really, really tired. And I thought, surely you can get the win here, Shimanoumi. You're the one in control, but he just got tired.
All right, the gunbai is pointed forward and up, which means we are ready for some sumo. Shimanoumi and Shimazumi in very similar coloured mawashi. Good luck, me. Good luck, everyone. Shimanoumi on the chest, but a Shimazumi who moves forward, but Shimanoumi. controlled himself better, controlled the momentum, and found himself behind Shimazumi.
Didn't even break a sweat today,
No.
Shimanoumi, with that. Very clinical, and nothing worse than a day 15 okuri dashi.
Oh, I know. Because the thing is, I mean,
Shimanozumi. Oh no, I've combined the two.
this haunts your dreams every day until the next basho, because the last thing you did was go out with your eyes pointing towards the audience.
Yep. Kyoku Tenho, the Shimpan, just locking eyes with him and thinking, oh, at least this is over now.
But good results for both of these two. As we said, Shimazumi most likely going up to Makuuchi. Shimanoumi will see a nice little move into the middle, perhaps, of Juryo. Third last bout now. Nope, we're not going to take that. We are going to take the speech.
Oh, it's my favourite segment of the Juryo commentary, which is where everybody's standing
Yes.
and who can see out and who's been locked in place by Takakento, basically.
Yeah.
So now we didn't really see results in the chat today about thoughts about today's Makuuchi division, about the excitement around whether Takerufuji can pull off a win against Kotonowaka. I think it's a possibility.
Anything is a possibility, especially with a Takerufuji involved. As we see our Sanyaku Rikishi step up, the Komusubi both will exit, Abi and Hokutofuji. They found it a bit hot there this time around.
Yeah.
It feels like a long time ago that we were sitting doing our podcast, and I mean everyone was talking about this, but just about how well the Sekiwake and the Ozeki had gone in those opening days.
Yeah. Finally, a basho where the Ozeki are all going to be great and we don't have to worry about, well, we didn't have to worry about Kataban at all. They've been successful, but there's been some ups and downs along the way, and specifically downs for the Komusubi. Who will go into those slots is interesting. Wakamoto Haru will come down from Sekiwake to Komusubi. If Ura wins today, we might see another Ura Komusubi attempt. He's been there before. Oh, why in my mind has he been there before?
I don't think he's been there before.
That's so odd.
Yeah.
I would have bet money that Ura had been Komusubi before.
So Ura with a win at Maegashira 1 today will be Kachikoshi and most likely move into that free Komusubi spot. What's interesting though is if Ura loses,
Yes.
we look at our other Maegashira 1, Aoiyama, out with injury for half of it. Shodai unfortunately didn't do well. The other Maegashira 2, Meisei, didn't do well. We then move to Maegashira 3. We've got Takeyasu on 9 and 5.
Boy, do we.
And Tobizaru on 7 and 7. So if Ura loses, we could see a Sanyaku return for Takeyasu.
I think so.
I think so. How are you feeling about their arrangement?
Well, I just love the space that Takeyasu takes up. He won't go close to Hakuku. There's, half a metre between them, and he just always crowds Daisho out. It was the same as day one, but I like the spacing on the left. I think Abi and Kotonowaka got good spacing, but Wakamoto Haru and Hokutofuji got totally crowded out. They didn't, offset themselves properly.
And unfortunate to see Wakamoto Haru at Sekiwake leave that rank. As we were saying, he'll take one of those. Well, he may take one of those Komusubi ranks, but we've also seen people slip from Sekiwake out of Sanyaku with a bad enough score. I can't tell you the last time it happened, but I have a feeling. Yeah.
Yep, it may.
All right, well, let's have a look forward to our final 3 bouts in day 3, day 15. Before the big one, we're going to see Bushozan and Tokihayate stepping up next. Bushozan's 9 and 5. When did that happen? He's just been picking up the wins. It feels like 8.
Only 8.
Yeah. Well, but there's a world of difference between 8 and 9.
Yeah, true.
But over the last 3 days, Bushozan has beaten Takakento, Tamashoho and Takahashi.
Well, for me, it's the same thing with Tokihayate. In fact, I thought he was going really badly, and his first week was very, very patchy, but he's racked up a day 12, 13 and 14 win to grab his Kachikoshi as well.
Fantastic. And this is a nice little matchup then between these two, coming in with those great winning runs into this final day. Bushozan's Juryo 2. So another Rikishi who already on 9 wins will be making a compelling argument to make a return to the top division. Although he hasn't had a good time up there.
No.
Bushozan made his debut in Makuuchi in March of this year, where he went 5 and 10. Went back to Juryo for one Basho, where he went 10 and 5. Came back in July to Maegashira 16 and went 3 and 12. What is it? Because he can look so good.
Yeah.
And we've seen him over the last 2 weeks look so good against quality opponents. Is this a mental barrier?
It could be. It could be on his side, or it could be that being that smaller guy who is more prone to Onosho style losses, you know, the slap down, the thrust down, that in the higher division they are much more experienced at dealing with that. Because Onosho's up there. No, just because they've got more experience, because they're used to dealing with so many different brands of sumo.
Oh, Tim, thank you for confirming. So the last time Sekiwake got 6 and 9 and only fell to Komusubi was 1952.
Oh, so he's definitely going down.
Oh, he's definitely going down, yeah.
Oh, that's an extra Komusubi spot.
It is. So...
I mean, I'm devastated. Sorry. I'm devastated for Wakamoto Haru. However...
I mean, it's good news for Takayasu.
Sure
maybe Ura.
Or somebody said Atami Fuji. Maegashira 8, 13, 2.
I hadn't considered that. Could we? Let me have a look at this.
Somebody sumo DB that.
Or from Maegashira 8.
If he finishes on 12 and 3, loses the playoff. I'm not foreshadowing that.
Gee, I wonder. And I think... Oh, I don't know. Gee, this will be a very, very interesting Banzuke no matter what happens.
It sure will be. Back to this bout. Tokihayate was someone I was really looking forward, being in Fukuoka, to seeing a smile from, because he is always so stern, and I didn't manage to see one. Every time I saw him coming in, getting ready, he was extremely stern. And he is again today. He is so focused in this bout against Bushozan. He comes forward quickly, but he bounces off. Bushozan bounces back a couple of feet. He backs off from him. Bushozan chases him, and then Tokihayate comes back at him. Bushozan comes back, and Tokihayate takes a little tumble. Little slip, little thrust down by Bushozan. He finishes on 10 and 5. Great news for all of us Bushozan fans there.
Huge. I think this was a very interesting bout if you're watching this from Bushozan's perspective in light of the conversation or the question we just asked. I think there were multiple times here where Bushozan may have let himself get beaten. This pull that we're just seeing right now I don't think was well informed. What he lacks, sometimes I wonder whether for me it's just the comparison to Takakento in terms of stature and sometimes the thrusting sumo. Yet what you see Bushozan go out and do is often not that.
Yeah, yeah.
And he relies on winning in a very, let's say, improvisational manner.
That's so true. He's nowhere near as aggressive as Takakento. He's nowhere near as good with the pushing and thrusting and landing anything like that. So I do think that that's where he struggles. He's just not aggressive and strong enough in the type of sumo that he needs to do.
All right, well, that brings us to the big one. Juryo 13, Asakoryu, up against Juryo 1, Kotoshoho. Kotoshoho can force a playoff against Onosato with a win here. I'm fascinated to see how these two Rikishi approach this bout. Two very different styles, two very different builds, two very different speeds. Kotoshoho at Juryo 1 many days ago confirmed his return to Makuuchi, only needing just this one basho down at Juryo 1 to show the sumo community that he's a bit too good for Juryo.
Yeah, and it's a strong showing and really good to just blast your way back out again.
Exactly. Well, I mean, we compare this to Chiosakaya, who, I mean, not that there's much that you compare in terms of career, where they are in their career, but I was wondering at Juryo 6 whether Chiosakaya wouldn't blast his way back a bit more convincingly. 8-7's really good, but it'll see him move to probably Juryo 5.
This would be Kotoeko. Wouldn't mind a Yusho for Kotoeko. This would be Kotoshoho's third Juryo Yusho. The most recent one that we can all probably remember vaguely was in January last year, 2022, when he struggled to move out of Juryo. That was after injury pulled him out of Makuuchi, and that was that real struggle time for him where he looked hopeless.
He did look hopeless, didn't he?
Took him a long time to get out of Juryo, but when he finally recovered, he got 3 Kachikoshi in a row, culminating in the Juryo Yusho, and has been mucking around in Makuuchi ever since that. But he does need a win here. Importantly, if he loses here against Asakoryu, that is the Juryo Yusho to Onosato.
Asakoryu, Juryo 13, ex Ishizaki.
Yep.
He's been a Rikishi that you and I have both kept a little bit of an eye on since his debut in 2021. Something about this kid. He's at Takasago Beya, hails from Osaka. In an era, or maybe I'll say a time, where we've seen the smaller Rikishis like Enho, Ishira leave. Terutsuyoshi I could count among that. It's been interesting to see a well-built, smaller Rikishi come in and do so well. I mean, he's 176 centimetres tall. He's by no means short, and I say that because that's exactly my height. And I can touch the backboard. All right, here we go. Kotoshoho to force a playoff if he can beat Asakoryu today. Comes forward, pushes high on Asakoryu, and
Get the straws out, boys.
absolutely rocked Asakoryu. Wow. I mean, what can you say about that? An absolute dominant performance from Kotoshoho. Is there anything Asakoryu could have done here?
Yeah, went for the head. We'll have to see how he was put so off balance here. He moved round to the left. Yeah, he jumped to the left and then was assaulted almost Daisho style there. Abi style by Kotoshoho. Very determined looking. Knew that, or had confidence in himself at least, that he could pick up that win and force the playoff. I mentioned straws because the best the best playoffs involve more than 2 Rikishi, and you've got to get out the ways of determining what order they go in, which is nice and primitive in the sport of sumo, but we don't need them this time around. Instead, we have one more bout before the playoff. Poor old Kotoshoho having to give the Chikamizu to Takahashi before he gets to go off and have a bit of a rest.
Well, this is an interesting bout that we have for the final, now not final, the second last bout of Juryo. Aoiyama at Juryo 1 is on 7-7.
And an absolute crisis happening in the chat here with Monster, who would love Aoiyama to win. He's 7-7, as you said, and needs that win at Juryo 1 to go back to Makuuchi ranks. But he will probably displace Takakento, who turns out they're also a fan of.
Oh, right, okay.
It's a real battle of the hearts here for poor old Monster. Just let sumo take over. You got to just relax, sit deep into your chair, let the sumo course through your body.
Yeah, sumo sorts things out.
Sumo will take care of it.
Yep. So I guess the question is here, we may see with a win from Aoiyama a return to the top division. Is he welcome there anymore? Is there a spot for Aoiyama?
Well, when I was watching the Juryo guys walk in and Aoiyama turned up in that lot, the ladies outside the Kokusai Center said yes.
Right,
He's
okay.
very much still welcome.
Oh, he's a much-loved Rikishi.
They love him.
No doubt about it.
You always hear, and you can hear it right now, in fact, kids calling out for Aoiyama. Well, that was Takahashi.
Yeah.
Okay, kids. If you could do what I just said, that'd be great. But very, very popular. Takahashi going so well as well from Nishonozeki. It's been a successful basho for that stable. And a lot of people I know, big fans of Takahashi, and seeing him along with Onosato and Juryo. There's some fans.
They've got the combo, the fan and towel combo.
They want him back. You know, with the fan, and Annie, maybe you can contribute to this if you've got your Atamifuji fan ready for today. Do you have the face going out, or do you have the name going out? Because they don't want to see their face, do they?
Well, it's a question that we posed to each other during our time at the basho. I wouldn't like to see my face looking back at me.
Well, it's okay on the towels because it's stylized, but when it's your actual face looking back at you. All right, very important bout here. Aoiyama. Takahashi. Aoiyama stands Takahashi up. The Norawa, and then the thrust down. A very Aoiyama style of victory, and he confirms his return to Makuuchi. Huge for Aoiyama fans.
Classic Aoiyama. It's like he remembered.
Yep. He let the sumo course through his body.
Look at this. This is vintage Aoiyama. Slaps. Here comes the pull. I mean, Takahashi, I think knew it was coming and just got down on all fours. Took that one. He knew he got Aoiyama'd.
Yep. And how nice to clinch that in such a way that's familiar for Aoiyama, and he'll only just slide back in, but he will be there, which is very important for him. There's one more Juryo Rikishi we have not seen fight this time, and that's because they're the Juryo visitor for Makuuchi. That's Kageyaki. He comes up in the first bout of Makuuchi against Nishiki Fuji, both of those coming in on 5 and 9. Kageyaki really struggling. We haven't seen him able to do his forward motion sumo the way he likes to.
Feels like it's been a couple of basho now where we've had to endure watching Kageyaki not fight at full health, and it's a hard thing to watch, to be honest. But we'll see a big slide down from his current Juryo 3 position. Now we have another playoff before our Juryo playoff.
Yep, and it's the Jonidan playoff. On that side we have Shiroma on the west. On the
Let's
east
say
we
the
have
left of your screen.
Left of your screen. On the other side we have Dairinzan. These two both ended up unbeaten in Jonidan. Jonidan 15 and Jonidan 61 respectively.
Wow.
I love how that happens down there. Shiroma from Onoebeya. He won Jonakuchi in September. He's 23 years old. And his opponent, Dairinzan, 20 years old. From Arashiobeya.
He is. He made his debut back in March of last year and has risen through the Jonidan ranks like nothing else. It's 61 already.
Taking a little while.
Well, yeah. But so good to see Dairinzan out there fighting for this Jonidan Yusho. I have to admit, I haven't seen a lot of his sumo.
No.
No.
That's a surprise. I'm very familiar with
You,
him.
I know you are.
I love, he's got the lighter belt and the blue. So, Jonidan playoff, Shiroma against Dairinzan. Shiroma, great mullet. He's taking his time to go down. Dairinzan staring, and as a matter, Dairinzan shows his hand. He comes straight
he does,
forward.
doesn't he?
You've
But
given it away.
It shows that he's out there to win, not to muck around.
Beautiful eyebrows on this man. He is ready to fight. Some fine sideburns for Shiroma. And there's another matter. Shiroma proving himself not willing to go.
Well, Dairinzan needs just to settle down a little. He needs to hold his horses, wait for Shiroma to at least look halfway ready.
One more time. Can they make a sumo bout happen here? They can. Dairinzan forward with the arms, but it's Shiroma who comes at him, but he ducks out of the way. Shiroma gets all off balance, and it's Dairinzan who can turn to his left and push Shiroma out.
After seeing that, I understand that first and then second mata. He knew he had to come out hard and fast against his bigger opponent today, Shiroma, and Dairinzan moving very, very well to pick up that win to take the Jonidan Yusho.
So that's experience there, trumping youth. Shiroma only in his second Basho, already had the Jonakuchi Yusho and was going for the Jonidan, so nothing to be disappointed with there. He was just pushed to the side by the shoulder in a little bit of a Takakento style move. But Dairinzan just with that extra few, a year and a half of experience.
Oh, it really showed there.
Time now for the Juryo Yusho bout. The one we've been waiting for 15 days. It's Onosato in front of his Oyakata against Kotoshoho, and they've changed sides.
So people in chat, let's get our predictions for this bout. Can Onosato continue to sweep away the opposition, or can Kotoshoho show great sumo, live up to his potential that is in his blood, in his DNA to pick up that, you said fourth? Third Juryo Yusho. He knows what it feels like to be in these situations. And I wonder...
Feels like Juryo Yusho.
Well, yeah. But I mean, he's not going to lose his head out there.
Yeah.
He's got 2 in the cabinet already.
Onosato also doesn't feel like someone who really loses his head yet. Maybe a Takerufuji style, he'll find himself being pressured as he rises higher and higher at a young age. But the Juryo Yusho, he seems pretty chill here. They have fought already, and I believe
Kotoshoho
won.
Yes.
Yep. All right, we've got some predictions. Kotoshoho. Couple of Kotoshohos. Tim, you reckon Onosato? Want Onosato to win, but fear that Kotoshoho is a tricky hobbit.
Agree.
Tricksy hobbit, in fact.
Tricksy.
Yep. Now, did we see the old lady just fall over? I didn't.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
I didn't see it, and I mean, I don't wish I had, but I kind of wish
Twitter,
I had.
Because I would love to see it.
I hope she's all right.
Well, I mean, it's natural, the excitement of a Juryo playoff.
A Jonidan playoff.
And following a Jonidan playoff, yeah. Can make you feel quite lightheaded.
The Reiwa Monster Trio sign again. Innovative.
Yeah. Kyushu Basho, very much the home of the cottage industry signs, as we see some fans that have been done up.
What's
beautiful shot there.
Pressure here of the of having to do it in front of your Oyakata, who has cast his eyes down, just flicking his eyes occasionally at his protege.
I think this is...
It's normal.
It's normal.
I suppose.
I mean, no doubt Nishinoseki Oyakata would be going, go out of the Tachi-oi. Whispering little tips. Watch that right hand. No.
Not like that. Scott saying that everyone's chanting
Wow.
Kotoshoho in the stadium. Wouldn't have predicted that.
Interesting.
He's not from around here.
Well, I'm interested in that because Onosato seemed very popular on the days that we were there.
Yep, and you can hear the kids going for him. Now he looks nervous, to be honest. Big old blink getting ready. Kotoshoho is just used to it. He knows what to do.
Looks like they're ready to go. Kotoshoho high. Onosato looking for that left hand on the belt, but Kotoshoho takes Onosato. The bulk of the man hauls him around and over the Tawara. I don't think Onosato has any idea what happened then.
Nishonoseki Mata.
Yeah,
Monoryu. Yeah, huge win by
What a
Kotoshoho
brilliant
here.
throw.
To throw
yeah.
Onosato, not only to get on the belt and body him out, but to just add that throw to that win was really, really impressive.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this replay. The wheels started to come off early for Onosato when he missed that left-hand belt grip. Tried to get on the inside here, and that left the door open for Kotoshoho. Look at that.
And Kotoshoho able to stay up on that right foot and pivot so that his body fell second. That was so important there.
Clean.
It looked like they were going to fall at the same time, and I thought he's going to hop out or step out or fall first and be forced to put his hand down. But he wasn't. He just kept himself up. He knew what he was doing. And he joins the parade of winners to accept their Yusho. We might just stick with you for this.
I'm kind of a bit taken aback.
Yeah.
Oh, and how definitive that win was for Kotoshoho.
Me too, actually, because we know he's been going really well. And actually really, really well, I'll give him now.
Okay, you've upped that
But
to really, really well.
But to be able to deal with, a playoff, to be able to come back so quickly after fighting as well,
exactly.
he was probably quite puffed. He'd already done quite a lot of work. He had to stay and give the Chikara Mizu. He's had to stay on his feet.
Well, as we see the winner there with Nishinoseki Oyakata looking absolutely devastated in the background
I'm
there.
not going to look at him. I'm not looking at him.
He cannot make eye contact.
He's devastated.
Yeah. Oh, well, a very deserving winner of Juryo for the Kyushu Basho. Kotoshoho, congratulations. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this Juryo live stream today. We value your input. We love having you here. We will be back a little later on with a podcast wrapping up the Makuuchi division. Lots to talk about there.
So
Lots of Nanasho, Nanahai matchups. Lots of sorting out to do in terms of movement in and out of and around Sanyaku. And of course, can Takerufuji keep his Yusho dreams alive?
We hope that it's not all over with a Takerufuji's bout. It would be really lovely for it to continue on until the Kirishima bout. So can he do it? Can he get over those nerves that he had yesterday? Front up again today, be confident, be positive, and give himself every chance in the world for this Yusho. We will see, and we'll bring you all the action for that. Thanks so much for being with us. For Juryo, if you fancy contributing to the Sumo Mainichi Sake Fund, you can through PayPal. It's sumomainichi@gmail.com. So great to have all our mates with us watching Juryo. Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Yeah.